everyone. So I recorded this video and apparently it doesn't do audio. So I'm going to do this audio with the video. Right now I'm going on to Notability. Whenever I get there. Okay, there we go. So I am talking about Dan's definitive history of houseplants and just talking about how I highlighted and annotated my source. I put this one on Notability just so I could show you the highlighting, but I might do the highlighting on an actual paper copy. So one of the first things that I am about to highlight is the first sentence, because it kind of shows me what the main thing is of this article is the idea of indoor plant ownership and what became rooted in our culture, which is exactly kind of what I'm looking at, is how it became rooted in our culture. So let's give myself a second to catch up. I wonder what I'm actually saying here, because I don't remember. It's really important to know kind of how you're going to color code these things too. I just change highlighter per paragraph roughly. So I highlighted it, indoor plant ownership became rooted in our culture, because that's my focus. And I know that when I look at this article, that's what this is going to be about. Now I'm going through the first paragraph. I highlight houseplants date back to early human history. So I know, okay, this is not just like a recent thing, and that it was a status symbols of wealth and luxury meant to impress. Only recently have they been more accessible for all people. So I want to note that, because it was a status symbol and now it's just more of a common thing. How did that change happen over time? I want to know. So now the first one is about Neolithic origins. This tells me the Neolithic period and how long ago it was. And it talks about domesticating crops, how it was a slow process, how humans started to select plants that had favorable traits in cultivation and consumption. So I'm highlighting that there because it's something that seems really important to me. And also how it allowed early humans to move from hunter-gatherer settlements, because then we start having the development of cities, and also how plants played an actual role in creating human civilization. So I'm emphasizing that with another highlight. And then I'm writing that this is about cultivation. So I know it's not about actually household plants themselves, but just some background information. Next I have is hanging with Babylon. So we have the earliest records of household plant ownership in human history was the fabled hanging gardens of Babylon. So it's fabled, so it might not be real, but I might want to do more research on this and see what information I can find about it. I've heard about the hanging gardens of Babylon before, because it is one of the ancient wonders of the world. So this paragraph kind of goes into a story of how the fabled gardens of Babylon came about. Again, something I might want to go research later, but here it tells me when the Babylon gardens would have been formed, which was 600 BC. So this article kind of is giving me a timeline of eras to look at until I have my modern culture, where I will do more discussion about the history leading into how it is in our culture today. So again, I'm talking about what kind of plants were in the hanging Babylon, which were palms, dates, cedars, bright flowers. This is an opportunity to put images into my informative paper, kind of like a multi-genre paper, which is awesome thing that I can do as well. And I'm even noting to do more research, so I know later when I'm looking back on what more I need, I know I can look there. Now we have the Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans. Looks like I changed pink because I needed a new color to look at. So this is talking about after the Babylonian time, the Mediterranean powers between 500 and 400 BC, and it was the rich that documented having houseplants in their states. Also, it talks about kind of flowers and pots that they used. So marble and terracotta. I might want to look into popular pots that are chosen and soil. There's a lot of other things besides the plant itself that goes into household plants, and it also kind of leads back to my main idea of like Instagram, Snapchat, social media, and how it's become a trend, and we like to take pretty pictures to show our lives. And then I know I also kind of highlight the rose and violets section here. So favorite Roman house plants were large rose and violets, so I have an idea of what plants they liked. Now we have miniature potted plants. So the Vietnamese and the Chinese and the Japanese plants listed are some of these forms of plants that were used between 200 and 500 CE, and kind of what their purpose is. And now people do have like these little terrariums, so maybe I could connect that to terrariums even. This is giving me even more ideas of how I want to structure my paper as well. And I will show you how I structure my papers later, because I do them old school. And also I noted that a difference between culture, household plants do. So, but I want to focus on American culture because that's something I have a personal connection with because I'm from America. And I can relate this back to myself because I plan on writing my paper with a narrative throughout just to make it more interesting, kind of like some of the articles we read. So now we have the Renaissance resurgence, talking about how decorative plants disappeared for a while, but monks were the ones that actually kept household plants, and they favored functional plants like herbs and vegetables and fruit, and how it became vogue during the European Renaissance, which is really interesting. And there was vast assets through plants, so it showed again money. And then orangeries, which I've never heard about before, so I might want to research orangeries. I don't know if I noted that on there, but now I'm regretting not doing that because that might be another area to look at. Now I'm just going through to look at all my notes, and I have a lot of notes on here. Really, for such a small article, there's a lot of information. We're almost at the end here. So we have the Victorian growth. The Victorian era was the first use of houseplants by the middle class. So I can note that it was the first use of houseplants. Okay, I had to go into a Zoom meeting real quick, so let's finish this. All right, provided the proper climate, so talk more about the orangeries. Not the orangeries, the greenhouses. And so we have the modern era. So modern era is where I really want to know stuff. And so that they consider the modern era after World War II. And they talk a lot about the offices and the workday. So I might want to look up like office life and household plants and stuff like that to see if I can find more articles. Maybe find modern propagation and breeding techniques for plants, just to help me figure out more things and how they become a symbol of beauty and wellness and clean living. That might be another area to look at. So I hope that overall this video helped you understand just what it is to annotate your own research and take notes, because I know a lot of times we just look for the quote, we look for the information, throw it in there, but our research also guides us on how to find other things to help us out on the work we're doing and how to structure a paper, which we will get into for Monday, because Monday, you will be creating an outline for your paper, and outlines are very important. People hate making them and they just want to write them, but no, an outline will save your life. Okay, So have a great rest of your day, and I hope this helped.